When was the last time you actually felt rested? And I don't mean just physically, but mentally too. Emotionally. Like you weren't carrying something invisible on your back all day. Because I've noticed something, especially when it comes to men. A lot of you are exhausted, and it's not in an obvious way. It's not in the I didn't sleep properly last night kind of way. And it's not in the I didn't really get to take a break today kind of way. It's more of a deeper tired. It's the kind that doesn't go away with naps and the kind that follows you even on your off days. What's crazy is that most guys don't really speak about it. They just say, I'm tired, shrug it off, and keep going. But this kind of exhaustion is not random. It's something that's built up slowly over time as you go on throughout life. And a lot of guys are tired because they're always on. They're always expected to show up, to perform, to hold it together, to be the better person and be useful and be productive and dependable. Just all of these things that people expect you to be. Even when no one is telling you that, it's pretty much implied in life everywhere, every single day. And you as a guy, you're just supposed to work through it or push through it and deal with it or, rest later, feel later, break down later, take care of your mental health later, take care of your physical health later, and then that later never really comes. And so that feeling of exhaustion just stacks. It starts with waking up already on low energy, and then it proceeds to going through your day on autopilot. And then it gets to the point where you come home wanting to relax, but your brain doesn't shut off. And it doesn't shut off because it was never given the space to calm down. Then you finally sit down and you just don't even feel relief. You don't feel like you're able to relax. You just feel drained. And it's exhausting to deal with. And I feel like another reason why guys are so tired all the time is because you carry so much invisible stress. No one sees the mental math you're constantly doing. No one sees the mental health issues that you're struggling with, because as a guy it feels like no one cares about your mental health as much as other people or the next. And then there's this whole pressure to be stable and to be improving and to not fall behind, because that means that you won't get anywhere in life, or you won't find a woman for you, or, just all these little things that weigh on guys' shoulders, or feels like it weighs on their shoulders. And then it's the quiet worry about whether you're doing enough or becoming enough or you're earning enough. And you just carry all that silently because it's what is quote unquote expected of you, and it's just normal guy issues. But because you carry it quietly, it doesn't get released. And then a lot of guys don't even vent. They don't process out loud. They don't unpack what's weighing on them. They just hold it in. You guys just hold it in. But holding things in takes energy. Even if you're used to it or it's normal for you, like especially things you're used to, it takes a lot of energy to just hold that in. There's this expectation of it, and then there's also this expectation that if you're not physically exhausted, then you shouldn't be tired. Like it's almost as if people think that being physically tired is the only kind of tired a guy can be. Not emotional, not mental, but emotional labor is exhausting too. You have to be the calm one. You have to be the bigger guy or the bigger person. You have to be the stable one. You have to be the one who doesn't complain about their life situations or things happening to them. You have to be the one that doesn't get the chance to grieve over, past loved ones or old relationships or old friendships or lost passions or hobbies or lost jobs. You have to be everything positive, but you're not given the floor to be negative or to express, the negative side of things or the things that really bother you or get you down. and that drains you. It drains you in ways that sleep can't fix. And another thing I've noticed is like how little permission guys feel that they have to rest without guilt. Like, you guys feel very guilty for finally resting, or for finally taking a breather, or for finally taking a step back, for finally thinking of yourselves and putting yourselves first, and putting your mental, physical, and emotional health first, over other people's. Like, it's like you think that rest feels earned and not deserved, and then you have to justify slowing down. And then even when you finally justify it for yourself, and even when you do rest, it's like there's this little nagging voice in the back of your head saying you should be doing something else, or you should not be resting, or you haven't gone far enough or done enough to be able to rest this way. And that little nagging voice in the back of your head, it doesn't let you recharge. And so instead of resting, you pause. And then you think that pausing is enough, but pausing isn't the same thing. And that's why a lot of you guys feel tired even when you're doing nothing, because you don't ever clock out mentally. Over time, this low level exhaustion, it becomes your normal. Your brain gets used to pausing and not stopping. And then you forget what it feels like to have energy that isn't borrowed from caffeine or adrenaline or distraction. Yes, I know about you guys and your caffeine. You start thinking, oh, this is just adulthood. This is just life. This is just how it has to be because I'm a guy. But I don't think it's supposed to feel like constant depletion. I think a lot of guys are tired because they're surviving systems that weren't built with their emotional well-being in mind. It's only built with their physical capabilities in mind, or like the societal aspects of quote unquote what it is to be a man in mind. There's this work culture, there's the hustle culture, there's this comparison culture, you know, hustling for this and that, comparing yourself to this guy or the next. It's always measuring yourself against someone who seems ahead, or just measuring yourself against anyone else, any other guy. And that kind of pressure also eats away at you slowly. And because it's slow, you don't really notice that it's happening. You just wake up one day and realize you're fucking tired all the time. And I just wanted to say that if this sounds like you, I just want you to know that you're not weak for feeling tired, and you're not lazy for finally wanting to slow down and take a step back. You're not lazy for your brain wanting to stop instead of pause. You're not worn down. You're not broken. You're not any less of a man. Like, being worn down doesn't mean that you need to try harder. It just means that something with your body needs care. You need to breathe. Sometimes that care looks like rest, you know? Sometimes it looks like setting boundaries with other people. Shit. Sometimes it looks like letting yourself being quiet without having an explanation for why, or like without having to explain to your brain why you want to be quiet. Sometimes it just looks like admitting that you're tired without minimizing it. And if you are listening, or if you've made it this far and you're like seeing things that I've said that resembles you in a way, a lot of guys walk around exhausted pretending they're fine. So you're not, the only one. If anything, it makes me sadder that there's so many guys who walk around tired and exhausted with life, and they just have to pretend that they're stable and mentally okay and that they're fine. But who knows? Maybe the first step toward feeling better, or, just letting this weight go, it's not about fixing everything. Maybe it's just acknowledging that your exhaustion makes sense and that it means something more, But I just wanted to say, remember that I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for getting through the days you didn't even feel like you have the energy for. I'm proud of you even if today feels like one of those days. I'm proud of you even if you did absolutely nothing today. And when you're ready, I'll see you on the next Soft Talk.